Hey, you guys, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for coming to my holiday party, part A, part B. We're in part B. So it's been a scramble around here. I don't know about at your house. Even with basically nothing happening, things still have to happen, right? I was just saying that to a friend of mine that we do Mexican food on Christmas Eve. And so that's really fun. We just order it from the local restaurant, and there you go. So we have a lot to do today. I have a special guest. I don't know, you might be able to guess if I give you some hints, but I'm not going to give you that yet. And John has a reading that he wants to do for you that is fabulous. But first, I want to say the graduating class of faces, I think there's one spot. Helen, you rocked it on this, okay? And this was just so much fun. And I'm glad to know that a lot of you have become addicted to these faces, just like me. They're so much fun. I'm working on our project for next year, so I haven't been able to make more, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to make a lot more. It's just so much fun. Now, I've got to tell you about the winner of the quilt. Okay, it's Kathy. And Kathy Romano, and she lives up in Clayton, California. And it was so funny because she wasn't on the live last Monday when I announced the winner, but we had picked her, we looked, and we thought she was in Clayton and this and that. Clayton's about 45 minutes from us here. So she was beside herself. What happened was a friend of mine, Sally, who lives in Walnut Creek, got hold of her. And also she's big buddies with Freddie Moran. So it's like this really small world. And so she's going to get my quilt, but that's not what this was about, you guys, right? It was about raising money for hungry people right now. And she lives in Contra Costa County, where John and I used to live in Contra Costa County. We lived in Pinole. And in Contra Costa County, there's extremes of money and really, truly no money. So I am thrilled that the money is going to that food bank in Contra Costa County. And also, Kathy, excuse me, was a kindergarten teacher, retired. I know teachers up in that area too. It all just felt so good. But here's the thing, you guys. 20,000 is what we wanted. And we were shy of 20,000 by about $130 or something like that. In the last minute, Paola came in and matched it up to that. So it's going to be so much fun when Kathy gets to take this money to her local food bank and say that it's from quilters all over the world. You guys were awesome. Thank you so, so much. So the next thing is I don't know where John went. When you're going to be on, you're supposed to be ready to go. Where are you, John? I want to tell you about a book that Jennifer Sampu gave to me. I have to yell, hey, John. Jennifer Sampu taped a show with us, and she gave me this book. And I started reading it, super good. And then John grabbed it from me and started reading it from under my belt. And I didn't get to finish it before he finished it. And there was a passage that he shared with me that was pretty spectacular. But John, about the book, okay?
Well, the book is called Big Magic, and it's by Elizabeth Gilbert, and she's the one who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. And it's for creatives. It's really inspirational for creatives. It tells you about the creative life. Really well done, really well written also.
And I'm going to say it's stuff I had never thought about. And you can get it on Amazon, you guys. It's an easy read. It's a good read. And it's about how creativity can grab you and bring you in and how you respond to it when you have this magic stuff happen.
So we were going to recommend this to you anyway, but then the other day we ran into this chapter that she wrote that many of you will be able to identify.
I don't know. I don't know.
So I'm going to read from the chapter Walk Proudly. 20 years ago, I was at a party talking to a guy whose name I've long since forgotten, or maybe never even knew. Sometimes I think this man came into my life for the sole purpose of telling me this story. which has delighted and inspired me ever since. The story this guy told me was about his younger brother who was trying to be an artist. The guy was deeply admiring of his brother's efforts, and he told me an illustrative anecdote about how brave and creative and trusting his little brother was. For the purposes of this story, which I shall now recount here, let's call the little brother, Little Brother. Little Brother, an aspiring painter, saved up all of his money and went to France to surround himself with beauty and inspiration. He lived on the cheap, painted every day, visited museums, traveled to picturesque locations, bravely spoke to everyone he met, and showed his work to anyone who would look at it. One afternoon, Little Brother struck up a conversation in a cafe with a group of charming young people who turned out to be some species of fancy aristocrats. The charming young aristocrats took a liking to Little Brother and invited him to a party that weekend in a castle in the Loire Valley. They promised Little Brother that this was going to be the most fabulous party of the year. It would be attended by the rich, by the famous, and by several crowned heads of Europe. Best of all, it was to be a masquerade ball, where nobody skimped on the costumes. It was not to be missed. Dress up, they said, and join us. Excited, Little Brother worked all week on a costume that he was certain would be a showstopper. He scoured Paris for materials, and he held back neither on the details nor the audacity of his creation. Then he rented a car and drove to the castle 3 hours from Paris. He changed into his costume in the car and ascended the castle steps. He gave his name to the butler, who found him on the guest list and politely welcomed him in. Little Brother entered the ballroom, head held high, upon which he immediately realized his mistake. This was indeed a costume party. His new friends had not misled him there. But he had missed one detail in the translation. This was a themed costume party. The theme was a medieval court. And Little Brother was dressed as a lobster. All around him, the wealthiest and most beautiful people of Europe were attired in gilded finery and elaborate period gowns, draped in heirloom jewels, sparkling with elegance as they waltzed to a fine orchestra. Little Brother, on the other hand, was wearing a red leotard, red tights, red ballet slippers, and giant red foam claws. Also, his face was painted red. This is the part of the story where I must tell you that Little Brother was over 6 feet tall and quite skinny, but with the long waving antenna on his head, he appeared even taller. He was also, of course, the only American in the room. He stood at the top of the steps for one long ghastly moment. He almost ran away in shame. Running away in shame seemed like the most dignified response to the situation. But he didn't run. Somehow he found his resolve. He'd come this far after all. He'd worked tremendously hard to make this costume, and he was proud of it. He took a deep breath and walked onto the dance floor. He later reported that it was only his experience as an aspiring artist that gave him the courage and the license to be so vulnerable and absurd. Something in life had already taught him to just put it out there, whatever it is. That costume was what he had made, after all, so that's what he was bringing to the party. It was the best he had. It was all he had. So he decided to trust in himself, to trust in his costume, and to trust in the circumstances. As he moved into the crowd of aristocrats, a silence fell. The dancing stopped. The orchestra stuttered to a stop. The other guests gathered around Little Brother, and finally someone asked him what on the earth he was. Little Brother bowed deeply and announced, "I am the court lobster." Then laughter, not ridicule, just joy. They loved him. They loved his sweetness, his weirdness, his giant red claws, his skinny ass, and bright spandex tights. He was the trickster among them, and so he made the party. Little Brother even ended up dancing that night with the Queen of Belgium. This is how you must do it, people. I've never created anything in my life that did not make me feel at some point or another like I was the guy who just walked into a fancy ball wearing a homemade lobster costume. There's more to the chapter, but we do recommend the book, and I'm sure you guys have similar experiences at some point in
I
your
think
life.
for some of these people, while they're making their faces, I'm feeling like a lobster here. So thank you, John. I appreciate it. Yeah, he read me that, and we were laughing so hard I was crying. Okay, I mean, can you even imagine? So, anyways, on Monday we had Laura Wazalowski as our surprise guest, and if you have missed Monday, you must go back and listen to the song that she wrote for us. It's about the whole year and the whole COVID experience, and she is so good at this, and it just made me smile. So if you haven't done it, I just go back, and actually I've watched it a couple times. And then I'm sitting there thinking, well, what am I going to do to top Laura Wazalowski? I would not want to follow behind her because she's just so colorful and so fun and all that. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to put it out to the universe. I am just going to put it out to the universe that the universe brings the right person to us. And it has. And the really great thing about our guest today is that no visas were required. Okay. We know that that can be a problem. No visas. I'm going to say right now, too, that this person is really, really busy, super busy. And so we've got to have gratitude for this. Okay. So, anyways, I would like to, as we're going to give away our presents, bring on my guest that I have known my entire life. Please welcome Santa Claus.
Oh, yes, little Alex. We've known you for a long time. My reindeer still won't go near where you were living.
I'm sorry, Santa. I thought it was a good idea at the time.
Oh, hello, everyone. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're all here. And I can't wait to tell you who's been naughty and who's been nice.
Okay, Santa. Well, first of all, you have a whole bag full of stuff. And actually, I have it here, but can you tell us who won what? Would you mind?
Yes, I would love to do that
Oh,
because Mrs. Claus has told me she's winning everything.
hey, what's that in your hair? Or in your hat?
Oh, Mrs. Claus, when she found out what I was going to do today, she did a little special decoration for me. She, she has attached some of your thread to my hat.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, yes. She was afraid I might forget what I was doing today. And
Oh,
so now all I do is look at the screen and I'm reminded I'm talking to Alex Anderson and quilters all over the world.
yay! Let's hear it for Santa.
Yeah,
So,
I love
okay,
it.
Santa. Oh my gosh, I just got a little. My grandkids are watching this, Santa. Have they been good? Have they been good or bad?
Absolutely angels.
Okay.
Every single one of them. And you know, Alex, if you remember your childhood, I was worried about them, you know? Oh,
I
let us give
I
some
cleaned
stuff
up.
away.
Santa, I cleaned up. Okay? I cleaned up. So let's start with some gifts, okay? Because you have the list, right? And we're going to
I
start with
do.
just this little travel pouch, and then in it we have some cool, cool stuff. I mean, all of this I want. Mrs. Claus is not eligible to win, okay? I have.
Oh,
I know.
oh, 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 oh.
I've got a Bowen seam ripper. I've got
Nice.
fabulous little colorful scissors, and then a friction pin that we cannot live without. And I want to tell everybody that we knew that there were issues. I knew with how you entered, and we went and scoured, and we threw everybody's name in the pot. So no worries. If we saw your name, it's in the pot. Okay, Santa?
Yeah, absolutely. We
Okay.
don't leave anyone out.
Okay,
So
so who won this?
well, let me check my list. Let's see. Mm. 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 Ho, ho, ho. How about Doreen Morris? Yes, Doreen.
Okay, Doreen or Doreen. All right. Then Santa, this one's kind of short of a miracle. This is the world's best foolproof color wheel by Fowler, and they were out of print. I mean, completely out of print. But we managed to get some of these. So who gets this?
Patricia. Patricia, you have a color wheel coming.
Patricia Robertson. Woohoo! Okay.
Yes. Congratulations, Patricia. My little elves were so scared that I wouldn't have, look what they've produced.
Well, Santa, us quilters, we like good swag. You know that, right? Hey, Santa, are any of us getting a new sewing machine at Christmas? Can you tell us that?
I'm going to tell you that my sleigh is so heavy this year, I had to add extra reindeer to pull the sewing machine.
Perfect. Well, hopefully this person will love this on their sewing machine. And I got to get this in there. It's the Grid Glider, and it's what I've been using for all of my piecing and machine quilting and all of that. Absolutely love this. So Santa, who gets this?
Well, let me check the naughty list and the nice list. Carmen Maldonado.
Carmen, woohoo! Oh, she's from Colorado Springs.
Way to go, Carmen. You're probably in snow.
Yeah.
And my elves are going to love it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Hey, Santa, while we're at it, what should we leave for you at night? What is your preferred treat?
I'm so glad you asked, because here is my treat. I love chocolate chip cookies.
Okay. Looks like Mrs. is packing you some to take with you. Also, have you gotten your COVID shot? That's what Dr. Fauci said.
Not yet. Mrs. Claus is wanting me to go in, but I really just haven't had time.
Oh, Santa, you got to promise us you'll do that. Okay.
I will promise.
Thank you. Okay, then, I work with a company called R&K Distributing, and they're very, very generous, and I got some cool swag from them, okay? So.
Great.
Yeah, this next is this new tin of pins with a magnetic holder. That's from Quilter Select. And then I love this purple disappearing pin, and I love it because you can iron it. It doesn't stick. And then some Floriani snips that I keep by my sewing machine all the time. So who gets that?
Let's see. What about Linda Dweiler?
Okay, Arizona, yay. All right.
Yeah.
Then here's something else. I'm going through all this cute. Hey, am I going to save you a couple stops here on Christmas Eve?
I think, Alex, you're going to increase my stock.
Okay.
But I never expected anything else.
Okay, so this is the free fuse that's great for basting quilts, and then we're Santa's throwing in an extra bag of refills. So yay, I love this stuff.
Yes, and let's give that to Ellen Alt.
Okay, Ellen. All right. Now this is really going to weigh down your sleigh. This is another one. This is an 8-ounce rotary cutter, both left and right-handed, and 5 blades. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Well, let's give that to April Darnell.
Yay! Oh, and then this, I don't even know that we have this in the store yet. So Santa, thank you so much. Quilter Select 3 new ruler sizes that are 1.5 by 12, 2.5, perfect for jelly rolls, by 12. And then, 12 by 8.5. And then this little handle that you can go on that helps you move it. Okay? Who gets that, Santa?
Let's do Patricia Crawley.
Awesome. This is fun. This is fun. Okay, I've got a box. You can see it's neutral, Santa. I've got a box of 80 weight and 60 weight thread. And I always put the 80 weight bobbin, always. And then my 60 weight I put on top when I'm piecing.
Mrs. Claus needs to stay in your classes some, I'm thinking. How about Carrie Poland for this one?
That's good. And then, Sarah, we have a new project coming up in in the new year, and Mrs. Claus might want to be a part of it. But it's applicant always, and I think whoever gets this is going to have a head start on the class, because these are 80 weight threads that work in your sewing machine or by hand or whatever, that I will put on the top when I'm doing applique. I love this.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. I think we will choose Valerie Hayes for this.
And look at that, Santa. It's got lots of greens and lots of reds. Just for you.
I love it.
Okay. Okay. Then, for the class, people might want, so I'm going to show different ways to do the applique, and then people can settle into what they like. But one of my preferred ways is to use print and piece fuse light, and of course you need the glue stick and the glue refills for that.
Yes. Can I give that to someone right now? Like
yes.
R.K. Kent?
Okay. Hawaii. Okay. Then, this to me, I think this is true for all quilters. This is as good as a box of new crayons. Don't you think, Santa?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So this is actually what we're going to be using on this project. Of course, you can use whatever you want, but it's this bundle and then this black and white. So, and in fact, I think we're going to start selling these next week in the TQS store. Who's getting this?
Let's give this to Judy Newton.
Okay, so then, this is kind of funny, because this person I know personally, she comes to my retreat every year, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm surprised she's on the nice side. Just saying. No, I'm just kidding. I love this person. So it's someone who comes to my retreat every year. With the Fire Stick, you can watch anything on your TV, like Ricky's concert, the TQS shows, whatever. So Santa, who's the gal that comes to my retreat every year doing this?
Deanna Loader.
Yeah, Deanna. But you know what?
Please don't use Fire Stick to turn the fire. Please.
Okay. And then there's one other gal, and she's from Monterey, California. Oh, I just stole it from you. You got to give it to her now, Santa. Are we on the same wavelength?
Roberta Brunet.
Roberta Brunet. Woohoo! So Santa, where are you at in the process?
We're still packing.
Okay.
We're packing, and I'm glad you asked that question, because I want everyone watching to know that we know you all have had a different year. It's been a trying year, and you've all been amazingly nice people. And I wish you'd have put enough in the sleigh for every one of you. But I'm sure on this morning, you won't be too disappointed. And I wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. And Alex, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, Santa, thank you so much. And I promise I'll leave out chocolate chip cookies for you, okay?
That sleigh's really going to be heavy this year.
So I'm gonna say goodbye, because I know you have a lot to do, and I thank you so much. And Santa, does Mrs. Claus have a sewing room? Is that what's going on?
Yes, that's where I am in her soul, because she wanted to see everything that you were going to show.
Oh.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you, Alex.
Bye-bye,
Have
Santa.
a nice one.
Love you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas. Okay, there we go. How about that? Was that fun or what? So, anyways, little off the holiday track. Let's see what this is. I've got some comments here, and if I can get, oh, here we go. Oh, I can't. Well, here we go. Any questions? Any questions? I'll tell you what, you guys, if you need to get hold of me, you can go to my Facebook page and just message me. And here is what you need to know. Friday, I will not be here, but I'll be here Monday and Wednesday. And I'm praying that we can do a thing on organization with Lo, who works with us. The only thing that might stop it is there's been a little something that's happened in her life that I don't feel like I'm inclined to talk about, but I think all under control. She's written a beautiful book, and she's taken organizing your space to a whole nother level, just a whole nother thing. And so, yeah, that. Ricky, don't miss his holiday concert. It's fun. It's fabulous. He composed a new song that I saw some of you in singing, and John is running in with questions. Here we go. And I know some of my grandbabies are watching. Class on needle and thread sizes and uses. That would be good. And the truth of it is, I have talked to Terry Lucas about it as far as sewing machines. I'm not an expert on it, but I think that that's a really great idea. And I know I'd surround myself. Hey, if I can get Santa Claus, anything is possible. So I wish you all a Merry, Merry Christmas. And to my grandchildren, if you're watching, I love you. You're the present in the world that Baba and I have. And just stay safe. Stay safe. And I will see you not next year, darn near close to it. I'll see you on Monday. Okay, you guys, thank you so much, and Merry Christmas.